Hello, I'm Zash, and welcome to episode 38 of my G-Senjou no Maou, or The Devil on G-String, Let's Read. Joining me, as always, is my co-reader Faith. Last episode, I personally recovered from the plague, so I'm all healthy now, so I should sound normal again. Also, Usami risked her life in an encounter with Saijou, but she came out victorious, with the Yakuza's help. And now she has volunteered to interrogate Saijou, with the help of Tokita Yuki. I'm still not sure what kind of relationship they had before, but it seemed to be a pretty close one, though much to Usami's distress. Anyways, please enjoy this next episode. Ellipses. Megalipses. A heat that binds the soul permeated my pores. We were in the 20-year-old building that belongs to the Azai Corporation. The first floor is for consumer finance, while the second and third contain office set aside for SOA work. The basement is a space that the government doesn't even know exists. The three of us walked down the stairs to a place sunlight will never reach, and I pushed open the heavy doors. The narrow room was wet with dull pools of liquid scattered about. I couldn't tell which were water and which were blood. Saijou was near the wall, opposite the entrance. His hands were cuffed behind his back, and he was silently sitting on a stool. Full of vigor, I'm afraid. Is he strong enough to speak? Look, son, you think I'd damage him so bad that he couldn't talk? The whole point of torture is to get people to tell you the truth, and Lord knows, I don't want to see him hurting like this. Of course not.
I believe you, friend.
You can't have them thinking, oh, this is so painful, I'd rather just die. Especially not a first-time customer. Horibe seems pretty vigorous himself. Right now, the fuck thinks he'll be killed if he talks. We just have to make him think he'll be killed if he doesn't talk. It's a queer little process, you see. The sight of Horibe's cruel smile turns any vision of this room's past few hours into nausea. Tokita was calmly staring at the only light in the room, a naked fluorescent bulb. Hey, Usami. How you been? Saijou's sticky voice rang out. He continued mocking her in hatred.
Azai-san, would you kindly instruct everyone to be quiet while I'm speaking? And please keep everyone as far away from this subject as possible.
Very well. Tokita picked up an overturned stool and inched closer to Saijou.
Hello. May I sit here?
Tokita sat face to face with Saijou. It was at a distance where Tokita's legs might reach far enough to kick him. His arms may be bound, but he's still close enough to be in danger should he suddenly try to attack her.
Please allow me to introduce myself, Saijou-san. My name is Tokita Yuki. I'm a friend of Haru's. I came here to question you.
Is this woman an idiot? What's the point of giving that much away? Saijou will only be more wary once he knows she's Usami's friend. And as I suspected, Saijou moved his dirty lips in wrath. Usami's friend? So you're the next Yakuza trying to get something out of me? Fuck off! I'm not saying anything! He glared at Tokita with true anger.
I'm so very sorry.
Tokita smiled calmly. Then she continued on with a respectful, strong tone.
Then there's no need for you to tell me anything.
What?
I didn't receive any money from them. I never even promised results, so it's no skin off my back if you decide to keep quiet. And the reason I came here today was to help you, not them.
Don't lie to me! Even lawyers ask for money!
Yeah, you can say that again. And no matter how much you give them, they just keep on asking. I'm not a lawyer. I'm just the one person these brutes will allow you to make an equal exchange with.
At that, hesitation flashed across Saijou's face. He turned away from Tokita and licked his lips.
Saijou-san, since it seems I cannot be of any help to you, I'll be leaving now. It's unfortunate, but I'll have to leave things to those people behind me. I'm very sorry.
Something about the expression, those people behind me, bugged me. Earlier, she had said brute. Is there some kind of purpose behind that? As I mulled over such thoughts, Saijou spoke, panicked. Hey! He called out to Tokita, who was about to leave her seat. Did you really just say equal exchange?
Sure did. If it's what you want, I wouldn't mind getting handcuffed myself.
As Tokita spoke, her lips formed a smile. What are you trying to pull? I'll say it again. I won't talk. I don't know anything about Maou anyway. I couldn't help but gulp. Whether Tokita realized it or not, she'd managed to coax the word Maou out of Saijou's mouth. She should be pressing him on that right now.
I don't know anything about any devils. I want to know about you, Saijou-san.
Why? About me?
Yes. If you don't mind, I would like to ask you your given name.
Why waste your time?
Should I not have asked?
Noriyuki, what about it?
Absolutely nothing. Thank you. My name is Yuki in katakana. Isn't that unusual? I wonder why my parents decided against writing it in kanji.
She giggled happily. After that, Tokita went from one useless subject to the next. Residence, job, age, marital status, all obvious things. Still, I don't understand. Why did Tokita nod earnestly every time Saijou gave an answer?
Positive reinforcement.
Yeah, and making a rapport with him. She's now his friend.
Also, the more people respond to questions truthfully, the more likely they'll do so when you ask a harder question.
Yeah, of course this is Yakuza. They don't think that way.
No.
Hey, Tokita, give it a rest. Is there any point to these questions?
I want to know more about you. It's so unbelievable to me that a person like you could be treated in such an inhumane way. Even though you can clearly answer questions, they only inflict more violence upon you. Isn't that right?
It's damn straight is what it is. Since you want to know so much, I'll tell ya. It's because I knifed one of their friends.
You stabbed someone?
These people are the scum of society. What did I do wrong? I'd call it justice even if every last one of them died. It's for the sake of the country. Again, Tokita nodded deeply.
I'm not sure how to feel about that statement, to be honest. I mean, they're Yakuza. He's not exactly wrong. It just comes into the wrong part when he wants to kill, like, figure skaters along with the Yakuza.
Or their coaches.
That's a bit,
We don't mind too much about him killing the figure skater.
well, no,
It is canon.
depending on the figure skater we're talking about here. Even if you did hurt someone, it's still wrong for them to lock you up in a place like this.
Yeah, like I was saying, I know justice, and this ain't it. When I killed someone, I did my time with the law like I was supposed to. But these fucks, hey scum, you listening? At Saijou's provocation, I watched Horibe uneasily, but the sadist just laughed.
Thank you so very much. I finally understand some things about you. You have the right to be free of this immoral captivity.
Now that I think about it, why is Tokita being so polite? The screwhead is a cold-blooded killer. He strangled his own sister to death.
I suppose the next problem to tackle will be getting these people to see that you're the one in the right here. If you don't mind, I would like us to think about that together. What do you think?
Together, huh?
Yes. I so badly want to help you.
There's no point in talking to them. Their muscles are so big that they fill up their skulls. At that, Tokida's gaze sharpened.
I'm different from them. I'm planning to listen sincerely to whatever you have to say.
She subtly leaned forward, shortening the distance between the two of them.
Those people want something from you. It's information they think they need, apparently enough to lock a decent man like you up in here. In other words, your words are your path to freedom.
Saijou didn't speak at all, only licking the edges of his lips again. I won't say anything about Maou.
Of course not. Their violence could never shake your loyalty to this devil character. Still, people with the fortitude to withstand what you've been put through are quite rare. It's admirable.
That's true enough. Saijou lowered his eyes. Tokita also turned away her gaze.
Well then, let's not talk about Maou. Agreed?
Yeah, I don't care how badly I'm treated, but I won't do something like betray a comrade.
You don't need to. Let's go back to our last subject. If you left this place, what would you want to do?
So that's how she's playing it. Is she... I finally understood her strategy. It's nothing but wordplay. Nothing about Maou. They're only talking about Saijou. But what Saijou does is ultimately a result of Mao's instructions. In truth, the fact that Tokita also coaxed the sentence, I don't care how badly I'm treated, out of Saijou's mouth is glaring. She was appealing to his pride. You're asking me what I would do next? Who knows? I think I'd like to live a normal life.
Of course. It'd befit you, I think. Most everyone's talking about that big figure skating competition going on right now. Think you'd be interested in that?
She's pretty good. With a seemingly carefree tone, she led him straight to the crime scene. Figure skating, huh? Yeah, that might be nice.
I wouldn't mind going either. But I hear getting even a single ticket is difficult.
Really?
What? Do you have a ticket?
Yeah.
That's incredible. Oh, let me tell you, I've wanted to see that girl Usami Kanon skate in person ever since she got started.
Usami Kanon. She seems pretty popular. Still, she's got a few personality issues. Right there. Saijou paused in the middle of his sentence. He probably swallowed something along the lines of Maou would have more to say. The punk's breaking, bit by bit. Speaking of which, how did Saijou, who doesn't know how difficult it is to get tickets, get a ticket? Surely Tokita would hone in on that issue. And then, if she's successful, we can confirm that Maou purchased the tickets. But for what reason does he need Saijou to sneak into the arena? Right there. This is the moment of truth.
Is that so? Well, I just hope you're able to have a fun weekend.
However, Tokita simply gave Saijou these words and a bright smile.
Saijou-san, have you eaten yet?
She suddenly turned to a relaxed subject.
What do you think about taking a break?
You don't have anything else to say?
You just seem utterly exhausted, so I thought we might stop for now. I'm fine. Any time is good for me.
Alright, then give me some alcohol. Whiskey'd hit the spot. Does this bastard have no shame?
Usami-san, would you mind?
What are you trying to do, Tokita? I control my urge to yell out and answered calmly. No, it should be alright. Tokita, there are a few things I'd like to speak to you about. She's establishing that she has the power to get what he wants.
Yeah, very well. Let's take a break then.
Why don't you take a break too, Horibe? That is, if you don't mind relinquishing command to me. Of course not, son. You speak with the voice of the boss, after all. In other words, if this interrogation fails, I have pissed in Gonzo's face. Then I'll be back later. Let's step outside, ladies. With Usami and Tokita in tow, I left that dark prison. When I got outside, I felt the brightness of the winter sunlight reflected off the snow. Listen up, Tokita!
Is something the matter?
She's still keeping up that same calm tone. I don't remember asking you to be Saijo's servant. Whiskey? Are you kidding me? What are you going to do next? Pour it for him?
Don't worry about it, Izai-san. Yuki has a plan.
No doubt she does. That's why I kept quiet through it all. But this is the limit. Tokita nodded satisfied.
You're quite collected, Izai-san. You look so calm despite being under such an exorbitant amount of stress.
Oh, I'd say you're the biggest source of the stress. For God's sake, Usami alone was bad enough.
Still, just try to keep in mind that it's nothing compared to the pressure Saijo's under. He's a tough nut to crack.
If you think the job's too difficult, you can just walk away.
It's not difficult at all. Things are going very well.
Well? I somehow doubt that. You finally mentioned figure skating, yet you backed off immediately thereafter. Why?
Yeah, I was watching from the side, and I thought it would have been a good place to go too.
And this is why she's a professional and you guys are amateurs. Tokita shook her head.
No, it would have been over if I had pressed them. He showed a strong stress response to figure skating.
Stress response?
Sorry, jargon. Anyway, right, it's just something he clearly doesn't want to talk about.
But you can't avoid the question, can you?
You can't just pop any question anytime you want to. Everyone needs the proper atmosphere to confess, right? One needs to get close to the person, ask them for their phone number, and, of course, make reservations at a good restaurant.
I think we're off topic about which question we're asking here.
This is an interesting,
Get close? To Saijo? Look, I'm starting to get fed up with this woman. What's the point of getting close to a little shit like him?
Considering his personality, this is the most effective approach. He likes people who understand him.
Yeah, that's how Maou got him to be so loyal. I mean, sure, I'll bet no one's ever taken the punk seriously before, but still.
Are you frustrated?
Hey, that's a little personal, isn't it? Of course. Kanon will be on the ice tomorrow. There's no time to play around.
It's a simple thing to control people like Saijo. One only needs to be his friend. However, due to all the senseless violence you've used on him, he's now trying to curl up into a shell. At first I thought he was too far gone to be of any use. Do you remember how I talked a lot at the beginning? I had all but decided we hit our worst case scenario.
Don't tell me you actually plan to leave.
I did. Right up until the moment he licked his lips.
What? I mean, I noticed it too, but...
That was all I needed to grasp his state of mind. He may have a sharp tongue, but he's incredibly afraid. He just wants to find a safe place, away from the fear of violence.
I don't put much stock in junk like that. Being able to read people's mind through body language or whatever. You know, like how crossing one's arms is a sign of rejection?
Ah, you seem to be quite knowledgeable about this.
For all you know, it was a tic. And some of these punks will try to mislead you with things like that.
That is correct. Do you remember just how many times Saijo licked his lips?
I don't know. Twice, maybe?
4 times.
She spoke with absolute confidence.
Of course, like you suggested, a single reaction proves no information. However, we aren't limited to observing his body language. He's constantly expressing a tone, diction, gaze. We can integrate and organize all these signals into one. And naturally, if he doesn't react the same way to the same stimulus with some measure of regularity, then that particular observation is meaningless. Senjou licked his lips every time I hinted at saving him. Every time I talked about the path to freedom or the like. It was an act associated with safety words.
I still shook my head vaguely. I understand that you've been observing Senjou closely. Still, I think just about anyone would be able to figure out that he's seeking help. There's no such thing as a person who doesn't want to escape from Yakuza torture.
I suppose that's true.
She flashed a bewitching smile again.
Even now, he thinks he'll be killed once he lets his secrets out. That's why he's not talking.
That's the impression I have too. In there, though, you mentioned something about loyalty to Maou. That was just a lie to smooth over his ego, right?
No, I'd say it's about half true. To want to think more highly of oneself and to hide one's ugly side from others is human nature. However, my initial analysis of the man suggested that he may be somewhat prone to delusions of grandeur. What do you think?
Sounds about right to me. He created a political interest group, if you could call something that small a group.
I see. The more I hear, the more I believe this man will be easy to manipulate.
Tokita crossed her arms and made a reserved smile.
Let's just give him some time.
Fine. When do you want to meet back here?
Right, I'd say sometime tomorrow afternoon.
What?
I want to shake him up a bit. He has to think I'm the only person who understands him, and he has to be eagerly awaiting my arrival.
We don't have that kind of time.
Then forget about it. What do you think about torturing him some more? Like I said to Senjou, it's no skin off my back. But I'd wager it'll be far more skin off yours, won't it?
This woman's even worse than Senjou. Talk about out of the frying pan and into the fire. If you leave and don't come back until tomorrow afternoon, the guy's gonna hate you, won't he?
Maybe so. The way I left him just now should have his heart swinging like a pendulum the next time I see him.
What am I supposed to do? Oribe left things to me, so if Senjou doesn't confess, I'll have to take responsibility.
Alright, Kyosuke-kun. How about this?
She used my given name. Compared to her expression while talking to Senjou, she had a teasing smile on her face.
If I fail, I'll go straight to your boss and take responsibility for it.
Don't underestimate me, woman! I glared at her. This is my job!
What are you going to do then?
Alright then. We'll give it a try.
Thanks. It's good to see we're able to cooperate so fluidly.
Damn it, I've completely fallen into her trap.
One last thing.
What?
Don't do any more harm to him before our next meeting. And make sure he eats properly.
Ellipses.
If you don't take care of him, he'll see me as a liar and our trust will collapse. Also, he needs to believe that I have the authority to order the brutes to back off. Torture is strictly prohibited.
Fine. I agreed, though just barely.
How are you not picking up on what she's trying to do here, son? I thought you were intelligent.
Yeah, but he's been raised by Yakuza who are kind of punch first and punch often.
Well then, I'll see you again tomorrow. Same place? Noon, perhaps?
Can you give me your contact info? Usami's bailed. Tokita happily agreed, and we exchanged phone numbers.
Haru, let's go. I've still yet to thank you thoroughly. That sounds dirty.
It's Tokita! It probably was dirty!
Huh?
Tokita probably wanted to play with her sweater puppies again. Usami seems to have disappeared.
She ran away.
Just what kind of relationship do these two share?
Did you not catch the molestation bit?
Megalipses. Ellipses. Kanon came home while I was working. The night was no longer young, and snowflakes were furiously dancing outside my monstrous windows. Those better be fairly well insulated, because that'll be cold.
It's so cold, Nissan.
Don't glomp on me so tightly.
Hey, let's take a bath together. You can wash my hair.
She tugged on my sleeve firmly. How many times have I told you this, huh? Don't act so spoiled.
But the real competition starts tomorrow. I want someone to take care of me.
What? Are you nervous?
I just feel kind of jittery for some reason.
I'm pretty sure nervous is the word for that, Kanon.
No way. Nanchan's never nervous. You just feel some bad luck coming on.
What do you want me to do?
I bet if you hug me, everything will be all better.
Stop this. I'm serious. After taking off her coat and washing up, Kanon suddenly became polite.
Nissan, there's something I need to talk to you about.
Hmm?
There's something really, really important.
What? I have a bad feeling about this.
Actually, I came to live here just for this. But I think it'll only bother you if I actually decide to talk about it.
Kanon is trying to be considerate to me? Hesitance crept up on me the more I racked my brain, wondering what this could be about.
I mean, you're really busy, right?
You are too.
Exactly. Neither of us have time to worry about unnecessary things.
Despite sounding like a joke, her gaze was very serious.
So, if you don't want to hear me out, just say so, alright? So what'll it be?
What'll it be? Is this something I'm going to regret hearing?
Yes! Nanchan's so scared. Nanchan doesn't want Nissan to hate her.
What the hell is going on here? Suddenly, as if possessed by a demon, I remembered the sensation last night when Kanon held me. I remembered the emotions. I remembered her sweet scent and her warmth. Wait, this isn't about, that, is it? I swallowed. My expression must be very stiff right now.
Probably. I'd say that just about sums it up.
She shook her head in a lonely way. I see. I'm lost. I'm just sitting here, frowning and chewing at my lip. I can't lie. I'm curious. I want to hear her out, but I feel like if I do, I'll never be able to turn back. I need to make this decision carefully. We're going to have to listen to her, but is that really okay? I couldn't help but second-guess myself. Kanon's expression told me that this conversation would be no joke. She desperately wants to convey her feelings to me. And besides, Kanon doesn't lie. If she said it's important, then it is. Still, should I really listen to her heart? It's what we need to do.
Slow tears falling down my face.
All right, I won't hesitate any longer. Talk to me, Kanon. Gazing at her, I leave these few short words. Yes?
I just want you to protect me, Nissan.
Protect you?
Well, I mean, I want to be your partner. I'm sorry to inform you of this, child, but you are legally his sister.
Partner? I suppose we're not talking about figure skating here.
Do you hate me, Nissan?
Can't say I do.
So that's an okay, right?
I shake my head. Kanon. She interrupted me, possibly fearing an outright refusal.
Yeah, I know. You're not interested in things like that. I know that.
Honestly, I'm astonished that you do have an interest in things like that.
I know, right? I was surprised too.
I sighed deeply as my sight fell towards the floor. In her heart, Kanon must be incredibly anxious, despite her leisurely attitude. Each one of my words must feel heavy to her. Now, I can't really take the moral high ground anymore by saying we're just brother and sister.
Yeah, you're too much of a bad boy to say stuff like that anyway.
But I can't just up and see you in that light.
We'll just have to change that then.
Such optimism only showcased her anxiety. On the contrary, let me ask you a question. Why do you like me?
Good question.
Answer me seriously. Focusing on skating for so long has stunted her ability to do other things, like uphold sincere heart-to-heart conversations.
Because you're on my side.
I'm on your side?
Because you're reliable. Because you're kind and gentle.
There are more reliable people out there than you could ever want, Kanon. Take Ikuko-san for... Kanon interrupted me a second time.
No, it's only you. Nissan, not anybody else. Coach is... well, Coach is just Coach.
Are you sure you aren't just lonely?
I am lonely.
Her words fell like droplets.
But still, I love you, Nissan.
She turned away from me, muttering, Huh? I was hung up on something. I remembered something as I stared at her childish profile. Hey, back when you were a kid...
Hmm?
Nah, it's nothing. I was just thinking about how long we've known each other.
It's been a real long time, huh?
When did we first meet?
It was that time you almost starved to death.
Starved to death?
Yeah, remember? You lived in a janky old apartment then, instead of this fancy place.
Right. That sure was a long time ago. The bath and toilet were in the same room. The walls were paper thin. There was barely enough room to move around in. It was pretty much the definition of janky. Gonzo bought it for me, as a place to stay until I found a way to make a living. The Joker told me he'd buy me anything I needed, but I was way too scared to ask for anything big. As I look back, I can laugh at the situation. I mean, it's pretty funny if you think about it. There was cockroaches all over the place. Foreigners next door sang karaoke every frickin' night. Ugh. And I almost forgot the bathtub. It was so filthy, it felt more like I was washing it than vice versa. Oh, that place was god-awful.
Wasn't the complex called Pity Falls?
Ba-da-ba-da-da-da.
Jesus Christ.
No, you gave it that name. I couldn't help but laugh.
Old times.
Tell me about it.
You were so mean back in those days.
Really?
Yeah, do you remember the time I brought you some food?
No. What happened?
How much? You gave me a glare that I thought would kill me.
There's no such thing as a free lunch, you know.
And then you wouldn't take the dang food until you forced 200 yen down my throat. I told you your money was no good, but you didn't listen.
I had heard that you were Gonzo's daughter. I figured it'd be bad to owe you, of all people, a favor. As we found ourselves drifting into tales of the past, the tension in the room around us began to melt. You were already skating by that time, right?
Yep, and I always won.
Yes, you did. TV news teams came to my house to talk to me. You have no idea how much that annoyed me. People called me the brother of the genius skating girl. I just wanted to crawl under some rock and die. It may have been a command of Gonzo's that kept Kanon's complicated family situation largely unknown to the outside world.
Son, you're so gloomy. I don't think they'll ever find a cure.
Shut up. I smiled bitterly.
You're the best, Nissan.
What?
Sometimes it seems like you're the only one on Nanshan's side.
She wore a blissful, radiant smile.
You come off like a person with a whole lot of friends, but the truth is you only have a couple.
Of all the...
But even out of those, only Nanshan loves you like this.
Kanon's gentle voice flows into my ears. Her breath tickles and massages me, and my strengthless knees cause my feet to stagger.
What's up?
Well, is it cold in here to you?
Not at all.
Come on, it's freezing in here. Wait, I'm feeling dizzy, and my heart's racing.
That's love.
It's the flu, you idiot.
You sure? Are you okay?
She put her palm to my forehead nervously.
Oh, you've got to be harder than 104.
Please don't scare me like that.
It's because you're always pushing yourself too much. You be so stupid sometimes.
Well, it's true that I didn't notice it until I relaxed. Hey, Kanon.
I'll bring you some porridge. Do you like plum? I'll mix some in.
No, wait. I'm so damn cold. Can you sleep by yourself? I gave you the key to the room, right?
Yeah, what about it?
I'm going out. Bye.
Wait.
She almost fell over when she grabbed my arm. She looked like a comedian.
Why?
If you catch my sickness, all of Japan will hate me.
Where are you going?
A hotel or something. No, hotels are too expensive. Ichi's place is a possibility for the night, I suppose. Maybe I can give that little prick the flu. He's an idiot, though, so he probably won't catch it. Well, he did offer you a free night stay in his dad's hotel. My vision suddenly went black, and I was coated in the sensation that my body was floating in air. I opened my eyes. Kanon is gazing at me with an air of uneasiness.
What should I do? What should I do?
The sound of Kanon stomping about on the floor fills my ears. Heavy steps echo in my skull.
There's no choice. Nanchan will keep you warm, Nissan.
My mind was swallowed by darkness after hearing those words.
We're gonna wake up naked, aren't we?
Megalipses. Ellipses.
We're gonna wake up naked, I'm telling you.
Ellipses. Megalipses. My parched throat ached. The smell of sweat assaulted me. My back felt the soft caress of my bed, and my eyes opened to a familiar ceiling. I knock into something as I reach out my hand for water.
Ow!
The texture of Kanon's hair greeted my hand as it fumbled around.
Ah, Nissan, you're awake?
Kanon had been sleeping seated on the floor, laying her head and arms on the bed beside me. I suddenly understood the situation. I'm so sorry. I leapt out of bed and checked the time. You have to be at the short program today, right? Even so, Kanon only made a lazy, absent-minded sound.
I'll be on my way.
Are you going to be late?
Well, later than they want me there, but it'll work out.
It'll work out? But it's the Grand Prix finals. Tons of really important people will be there, won't they?
Nanchan's popular, so they'll forgive her.
I'm sure they'll have their hands full trying to lecture someone that arrogant anyway. She had gone out and bought me a water bottle and some aspirin. Warmth from a hot water bag, which I know I didn't have here yesterday, seeps into my feet. The cold, wet towel on my forehead tells me that Kanon took care of me through the whole night. All right, I'll drive you there.
Don't worry about it. You're still feverish, aren't you?
I'm fine. Just get ready.
I'll just take a taxi.
I said I'm fine.
Even if you are, what about the usual complaints? If you take me to the arena, there'll be rumors.
Shut your mouth and hurry it up.
Alright, I get it. Thanks.
In truth, though, I should be the one to thank her.